Hey guys, it's Wonder Breeder Mateo here. Just felt like doing a discussion video. Let me make this clear from the beginning. I don't really do discussion videos or anything like that, or even tutorial, even though I have some. Mostly I live stream and give away shiny Pokemon. So if you're interested in that, definitely subscribe, like, and all that fun stuff. But I figure I wanted to talk about my dream Pokemon game while I kind of just roam around Paldea, and if we find a shiny Pokemon, we'll just keep it rolling. So I'm just gonna set little markers to where to go. That way there's some direction. And so if we find a shiny, we'll just keep moving. But I wanted to talk about my dream Pokemon game, and somebody asked me this on stream, and I mentioned it a little bit, but I never really got into it. I mean, I got into it a lot, but I never really saved it or put it in a short, and it wouldn't really work in a short. So I figure I'd do it in a video. And so let me start off by saying I didn't come into Pokemon in most traditional ways, at least that I hear, like, oh, what gen was your first gen, or what mainline Game Boy, DS, or 3DS, or whatever game did you like, or brought you into Pokemon. For me, I started in Gen 1, but it was Pokemon Stadium, I believe, from what I can remember, that really got me into Pokemon. It was the idea of battling your Pokemon, going through those gyms that you saw on TV, like Brock, Misty, and all that, and just battling them. And so, but in this kind of preset Pokemon kind of way. And then I got into the mainline games, but when I started playing Pokken Tournament on the Switch, I didn't play it on the Wii U when it came out, but I played it on the Switch, and I really enjoyed myself. And it kind of reminded me of Pokemon Stadium, and I was like, wow, they could do so much with this. And so, unfortunately, I don't think it'll ever happen, and you can see that in the thumbnail, that I don't think my dream Pokemon game will ever happen, but I wanted to talk about it anyway. So, I wanted to talk about what kind of game would my dream Pokemon game be like. And so, it's not a mainline game, even though I might do a video on what my dream mainline game would be like. I have some opinions and thoughts on that. But, I don't know what the shiny is like, I'm just trying to take it out just in case. So, yeah, so the mainline game will be maybe another video, but a game that's not mainline was Pokemon Stadium, which is really, or sorry, well, Pokemon Stadium was really good, but Pokken Tournament, which is really good. I really love that game, and I put a lot of time in there. I ranked up to rank C, and I felt good about it. It wasn't like, oh man, I'm ranking up at rank C, and I feel bad. I'm not good at this game. No, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the strategy, the real-time strategy that it had. So I really enjoyed myself with Pokken Tournament. So my non-mainline dream Pokemon game would basically be like Pokken Tournament, and it would be basically, if I had to name it, would be Pokken Tournament 2, right? Nothing too exciting there, but in Pokken Tournament 2, you would have this set Pokemon, like you would have how it had in Pokken Tournament. It had a set number of Pokemon, and you can choose from. But what you can do is you can connect your mainline game. Like, for example, I don't know if it's just laziness, but I remember when, for example, if you had a 3DS and the DS, you can connect a card, or not a 3DS, like a DS and a Game Boy Advance. You can put the Game Boy Advance cartridges, and because of the connectivity, you would get some type of rewards, right? They do that here. We got the phone cases, but I feel like those rewards are kind of lackluster, right? Okay, a phone case because you played Let's Go Pikachu or whatever it may be. But I felt like back in the day, and I could just be nostalgia talking, that it was so much cooler. You get cool rewards. I can't really remember the rewards, so I could be wrong, but I'm sure maybe someone in the comments will let me know those rewards, right? Weren't they cooler? I don't know. Maybe let me know, guys, in the comments. But I think that's a shiny bird. It's flying away. No, it's not. I always think it's a shiny, and it's not. But anyway, so looking at that, those rewards, something like that. So you get the main, in the game you'll have the main Pokemon, maybe a couple, maybe even 10 Pokemon to choose from to battle. And then if you play the mainline games, you can actually transfer over with connectivity and whatnot. Well, the connectivity will come later, but you can transfer over your Pokemon, right? And if those Pokemon have certain attacks in the game, and this is kind of where the connectivity would come in, it's like you can use those attacks. Like let's say down in B for Blaziken is Brave Bird, but you can't use Brave Bird in the game with Blaziken originally. But because you transferred your Scarlet Blaziken over, let's just say Blaziken's in Scarlet, you transfer your Scarlet Blaziken over, you can now use Brave Bird in that game by pressing down and B, because it has Brave Bird in it. Because it has Brave Bird in its move pool in Scarlet and Violet, it will have Brave Bird in its move pool in Pokken Tournament 2. So something like that would be really, really cool. And you can basically bring any Pokemon over. This is why I said it will never happen. I don't think the Pokemon Company or Game Freak or whoever is in charge of that would want to invest themselves in it. But you can put them in there, and you can basically any Pokemon, and it's almost like this tour of all the games, right? So you take on the gym leaders and the Elite Four in each region. So it's kind of like Pokemon Stadium, where you went to like the little tower or whatever. I forgot what it was. It was like a lane or a tower, and you fought these different gym leaders. And you do that for every region, and it would just be, to me, it would just be perfect. And you can, and instead of having those like Pokken had before, like speed advantages and speed weaknesses and stuff like that, it would just literally be type advantages. Like you would say, okay, well, this is a fairy type gym, so let me bring my poison type Pokemon here from Pokemon Scarlet, and then let me take on this fairy. And it's real-time fighting, real-time strategy. Another reason why I don't think it would happen is because that game is difficult. Like, to really Pokken Tournament, to really like figure out what you need to do and fight, and you know, and people, I noticed that young people especially that don't like losing, so I don't think it would really bode too well with the young audience. But people, you know, that are maybe older, that, you know, experience, you know, okay, you know, I lost, you know, and even older people, it's not just young people. Older people sometimes nowadays don't really like losing either. So if we had that kind of dynamic going on where you have to really think really hard and strategize in real time and lose, I think a lot of people would not be excited about it, you know. But if you would think about it, like even they do have tournaments, but obviously the most tournaments are the main line. But I would like to see some type of tournament thing, and it would be 3 Pokemon 3-on-3, not at the same time, but how we had friend matches in what was it, Pokken Tournament. They had like these 3-on-3 matches, but and they never ranked it for some reason. I don't understand why. I wish they would have had a ranked version of it, but they did not. So yeah, so that's basically my dream Pokemon game, Pokken Tournament 2. You just you have some Pokemon that you can use from a pool, and like I said, 10 is probably too little, maybe 20 Pokemon. You have, like, you can choose from, like, almost like a rental team, but you could also transfer your Pokemon over, and you get perks for transferring your Pokemon over. Besides just moves and all that stuff, there may be some other connectivity perks that you get from transferring your Pokemon over. So I just wanted to share that with you guys, and if the Pokemon Company is listening, you know, maybe this could be a game you guys can think about making. So that's basically it. Like I said, I just do shiny hunting, and I give away shiny Pokemon. So if you're interested in that, that's mostly what I do here. But I figured I'd give a little discussion video, kind of show more of myself, where my mindset is when it comes to Pokemon games. I'm a huge Pokemon fan when it comes to video games. Right now, Pokemon is the only video game I'm playing. So if you guys are interested in that, and if you guys have more questions about my game that I'm thinking, my dream game, let me know. Oh, that wouldn't work, Wonder Breeder, because this and that, you know. Don't argue with me again. Well, argue with me, but don't, like, in a nice way. You know, let me know, like, your thoughts on it, and say, well, no, that wouldn't work because of this, that wouldn't work because of that, because I'm curious, because if it doesn't work, then it wouldn't be my dream game anymore, you know. But oh, well, yeah, I consider that, I didn't consider that. And maybe I can reform it, and maybe either in the comments or do an update video of this and be like, oh, well, now that so-and-so said something in the comments, I put this idea out there. And maybe we can probably continue that discussion on stream if you guys are there. So definitely come to stream. We have a great time. So I don't think I have anything more. Obviously, we didn't find a shiny, but that's usually how it happens. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. But I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, whether you're listening later or now or whatever it may be, and take care.